Hello Kaiju fans, welcome back to the Kaiju World Order. My name is MM, and this is just going to be a review for episode 4 of Ultraman Teo. And before I get into that, I just want to kick off real quick on some of the pros and cons I'm already noticing with this series. The big thing is, while I really like the new monsters and even the new Ultra Hero, where's the merchandise? If we rewind the clock to Omega and Arc before that and Blazar and yada yada yada, you'll see that all the new monsters almost always got new figures one way or another. Not all of them, but usually the main ones in the first handful of episodes. Now, since this series started, we have gotten a figure of Viologa and the human-sized Poochie and, of course, Teo. We've gotten a exclusive, I don't know really what you want to call it, but they're in a plastic clamshell release opposed to just a tag release. But it's just the same thing as Ultraman Teo, but just in his piss color golden power form. And that's it. We haven't gotten anything of Sadara, and Sadara would have been perfect for a Ultra Monster Advanced release with its opened chest plate and everything, with its mouth. And this brings us to this new monster in episode 4, which it's nothing to really write home about. It's just a subterranean monster, but we don't even get a basic Ultra 500 release of it. And we are just coming off of a long wave of releases based on the original Ultraman series. And as I record this, they just released a Spark Doll Ultra 500, whatever you want to call it, of the original, not Zeton, but Zerub from Ultraman. They did do a Zerub in the past when he was in Ultraman Orb, and now they just went and did a whole new Zerub to recreate the original suit. So they're still making figures of the monsters. They're just not doing as many of the newer monsters, and that kind of sucks. Because as I said in the prior episodes, Ultraman has always had a habit of recycling suits. This goes back to the Showa era, it goes back to the Heisei era, and it's a tradition carried on into new generation. So when a new monster pops up and we don't get merchandise of it, it kinda sucks, because there's a good chance that that suit might get recycled into something else by the very end of the series itself. And while, yeah, Sadara is nothing super amazing, same thing with this new monster, I would just like to have something of it on my Ultraman monster shelf. And considering the really cheapness of the current vinyls, an Ultra Monster goes for about $6 or $7 depending on where you get it from. So there's really no excuse why we can't even get a Spark Doll of Sadara or this new monster. But besides the lack of merchandise, I do want to also praise this series for its miniature work. This episode did not have a whole lot compared to the prior 3, but what little we did get at the end looks really good. The miniatures are not city, we're not in a cityscape here, Ultraman's not fighting the new monster in Tokyo, but instead we are in the countryside and the woods and everything, and the miniature trees, and it looks good, it really does look good. So, once more, as I keep saying with New Generation, if you can look past some of the stupid stuff, and we will get into the stupid stuff for this episode when I get into the review, because there's a lot of it. If you can just get past that, and get to the Ultra stuff and the monsters, you will see why this franchise is still as strong today as it was way back when. And with that all said and done, let's get right on into it here with episode 4 of Ultraman Teo. So this episode kicks off with Poochie officially getting its name and Ibuki showing the redhead and his club the invisible ship floating in the woods. The same ship he had originally found Poochie near. The redhead starts to become a little suspicious of Ibuki because of his knowledge, but he manages to BS his way out of it. Poochie was unable to reach the ship to leave, and thus it was trapped on Earth some more. And once more, the series shows it has a very weird poop fetish, as we get a whole goddamn conversation about kaiju scat, and the professor looking for samples of it. And in order to try and keep Poochie's existence a secret, they decide to join the professor's workshop in order to, wait for it, find kaiju shit. This whole expedition is about finding bits of shit. What the fuck is happening to my Ultraman? Ibuki soon discovers a bunch of vine-like things coming out of the ground, and he does what any sane person would do, he pokes it with a stick. The vines then ensnare him, but Ibuki transforms into Teo, and then even more, way bigger vines emerge. But then, what a surprise, a giant monster pops up too. And I'm not sure what this thing even is supposed to be, but it fights Teo and holds its own for a while. And there's nothing too unique with this battle outside of this monster's design, but as I said originally, the miniature work here, the lighting, everything is just done tremendously. However, after it appears to flee and Teo leaves, its tentacles ensnare the young hero once more and try to drag him underground. This is a scene that actually looks pretty cool as he is slowly pulled into a large crevice. However, because he is the hero of the show, Teo is able to escape unharmed. Later that night, one of Ibuki's friends, I refuse to remember their names, somehow activates the ship and is sucked inside, and then the episode ends. And episode 5 will seemingly be the episode where we get to see more of Doshingachi, which is the new monster. Now this was just a rather filler of an episode. Doshingachi is a neat looking thing, I want to see more of it, even though I have no idea what it's supposed to be. The design is very Showa-esque, it has tons of tentacles on its back, and it's just pretty cool, it's a neat monster. Story-wise, I don't understand why this series is focusing so much on kaiju shit. In episode 1, it was like a joke, it was just a running joke a little bit. But now, we got a whole episode that's based around the cast trying to find kaiju shit. I've seen a ton of Ultraman in my life. Matter of fact, I will say I've seen 99.9% of all Ultraman. There's certain things I haven't, and there's certain things I'm not watching because I have no interest in it. But this here is some of the stupidest eye-rolling shit I've seen. And this is coming from somebody who likes poop jokes, alright? I just don't like poop jokes in my Ultraman. At least not to this extent. So hopefully they can get away with it. I'm really hoping they do. This should be the last of the poop jokes, please. And really, until next time, kaiju fans, peace out, and Minya, take it.
Zilla says you should like and subscribe.